Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another DIY video for you guys. I'm going to be doing some fall decor DIYs. For the most part, they're all super simple. There are some that are a little bit more advanced, but definitely not anything to be worried about. But as some of you guys know, our living room is under construction right now, so I can't decorate for fall. So I want to make some decorations for fall, and I'll probably have a fall clean and decorate with me coming up probably around October. Oh, it is October. End of October, early November-ish. But as always, if you are new here, definitely make sure that you are subscribed down below. We have lots of different videos that we make like this. Also cleaning, cooking, baking, all that sort of stuff. So if you're interested in any of that, definitely make sure you are subscribed. And give this video a thumbs up to let me know that you guys like these sorts of videos. I love making these videos. It literally just gives me like 3 hours to do crafts. So I'm pretty excited. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get right to the video. Before we get into this DIY video, I wanted to share some very exciting news with you guys. If you follow me on Instagram at Brooke__Ava, you already know this news, but I just launched my blog. It is brookehang853.wixsite.com/BrookeAva. Don't worry, you don't have to memorize that. I'll put it on the screen right here, and it'll also be linked in the description box down below. So just really quickly, I want to give you an overview of what that's going to look like. It's pretty much just going to be an extension of my videos. So by now, by the time you are seeing this, I should have my first blog post up, fingers crossed. It's pretty much just going to be giving you even more details about these DIYs and just an extension of all my videos, giving you all the details. So if you're interested in that, definitely make sure that you use this link, or I will have it linked in my description box down below. So go check it out. And yeah, super excited, but let's get right back into the DIYs. So the first DIY we are going to be doing is this wooden bead garland. It's super simple. It's the easiest one, which is why we are starting with it. All of the materials you need are super simple. I got this bead kit off of Amazon. I'll try to link some of these materials down below, but it came with this clear and stretchy string, and you'll also just need some scissors to cut it. And this is where you just get creative and do whatever you want with it. I'm also trying to show you how to tie this. I'm pretty much taking my first bead and I'm trying to put the string through the bead and sort of tie a knot around it, if that makes any sense, because we do not want the ends to fall off. And since this is clear, I'm not worrying too much about the end being too long. So after this, I'm just going to build it up as much as I like. And this one is pretty short. I also made a longer one, and I am not really going with any pattern. I'm just doing it very random. So yeah, so this is where you can get creative and make your garland however you'd like it to be. And then just to finish it off, I am just tying another knot around the other end of the garland, and there you have it. We have this beautiful neutral garland that can go with anything. You can also paint these beads if you really wanted to. You can use any color beads, any sorts of beads. This is so customizable, so easy, and so simple. Alright, this next DIY we are going to be doing is this little lantern. All you need is a mason jar, fairy lights, string, and then just your little rim that goes around it. It lights up. You can use it for any sort of holiday. I like it for fall, but you could also use it for Christmas if you really wanted to get a nice farmhouse detail. But yeah, so here I'm showing you all the materials. I got a 12-pack of fairy lights off of Amazon, which I'll also try to link below. And then I just have this burlap string and a hot glue gun just to sort of help me with this project. So the first thing we're doing is we're taking that rim and we're going to put some glue around the rim so that our middle sticks. That way it's all just one piece and you don't need to unscrew the lid and then take off the top. As you can see, it is nice and stuck. At this point in the DIY, I started putting the fairy lights onto the lid, which I actually did wrong, so stay tuned to see how I fix that. But I would recommend doing this actually last before decorating the rim, and this part is completely optional. I'm just using the burlap string to give it a nice farmhouse detail, just to sort of dress it up a little bit. I showed it to my mom and she was like, that's a little bit plain, and I was like, well, let's try to just put some string around it, give it a little bit of the detail. As I said, completely optional, but I'm just using my hot glue gun. Be careful, it's very hot. Whenever I use a hot glue gun, I always burn myself somehow. And I'm just going all the way around the rim and using my scissors to cut it to size. And now we have the completed lid, all one piece. And yeah, so I would do the string lights after you do that step. That way you just don't need to deal with the string lights hanging and trying to get the rim on, but it's obviously not impossible. And here I'm realizing that I put the little battery pack in the wrong spot. I tried to center it so that you have room around the rim so you can screw it on nicely. Earlier I had it towards the edge, so it wasn't going on. So this is really nice because since it's just taped down, you can just take it off whenever you'd like, and it's easily accessible. You take off the lid, you flip the switch, and there you have it. It is a nice, cute little lantern. Now we're moving on to this sign. I absolutely love this sign. I just started with a piece of wood, and we essentially took a smaller piece of wood and nailed it into the back, or I screwed it. I don't remember how we attached it. And then I just painted it white, but you can do a stained piece of wood, whatever you'd like. So here, my sisters are helping me with this DIY, by the way, so I'm not going to be the only one in this one. But I used my Cricut on a vinyl. This is what we're doing here. We're trying to transfer it and trying to get it onto the sign, and I am taking my time trying to make sure that it is centered. And now we are going to be taking the tape off, and it should be transferred onto your wood at this point. So now I'm taking a little scraper and I'm just making sure that everything is adhered to the board. You can use a credit card or just like any sort of thing with a nice hard edge. And then Tori here is giving she's giving the letters a coat of white because that's the color of our wood. That kind of helps so that the paint doesn't seep through on, so you just need to paint it once. So I started with a few colors. I was just gonna do one color, but I mixed a nice neutral orange color, and then I have green and gray paint. You can pretty much do whatever colors you want with this. I just personally really like these. They're nice and neutral, but also gave a nice sort of pop of color because I want people to know that it's fall when they see this. So I thought that these colors were absolutely perfect, nice and just neutral and soft. And now we're just going to be peeling off the vinyl. This part is my favorite. Keep in mind, if you are using vinyl, I did let it try to dry completely so that I wasn't going to get paint everywhere. And now I'm just going in with my little Cricut hook, and I am cleaning up everything and taking out all the little holes and just finishing it off. And there you are. It is a cute little sign. It's super minimal, but it definitely screams fall. Now we are on to probably the hardest DIY in this whole video, but don't be intimidated. It looks so good, and my number one thing that I always want for fall is pumpkins, but they're so overpriced. So I found this Pinterest post on Pinterest, and I was like, wow, this is a really good idea to make plush pumpkins. They don't break. You do need a good amount of materials. I'm using this burlap string again, and then something to weigh it down so that it's not just flying all over the place. And then this stuffing, we actually got the wrong stuffing. We got like a sheet. We didn't mean to do that, but you can use just normal stuffing. You can even use cotton balls. And here I'm just trying to figure out my size. I believe I did about 2 feet by about 1 foot. Don't quote me on it, but that's about as big as I was going for. So I'm starting with my fabric face up, and I'm not super great at hand sewing, so I used my hot glue gun to sort of seal the two edges together really nicely. And then when you flip it inside out, the seam is there and you don't have any holes, you don't have anything that's gonna fall out. So now we are flipping it right side out, and we're going to take this string and needle. I wish I used a white string, but this is just what we had. It doesn't look bad at all. And we're pretty much just going to start hand stitching the top of this pumpkin. Well, it might technically be the bottom. But either way, we're just kind of, if you've never sewn, it's just kind of like accordion style. You go in and out, you just hand sew all around, and you really want this to be nice and tight, so you're just gonna go all the way around. You're gonna make sure that your stitches are good, and as you can see, it's kind of an accordion style thing. So when you pull the two ends of the string, it tightens up and it forms the bottom or the top of your pumpkin. So now that everything is stitched up, I'm just cutting the ends and I'm going to be knotting it to make sure that it is closed and nothing's gonna fall out. And then later you'll see that I also put some hot glue on there just to make sure that everything is nice and together. So now that we have just a little pocket, we are going to be putting some popcorn kernels in the bottom. You can use beans, you can use rice, pretty much anything that just has a little bit of weight to it. And since I had the wrong stuffing, I had to cut it up into little pieces and I had to fill it. Personally, I would have filled it up a little bit more than I did. You'll see that it was kind of coming over the top, but I honestly would have done a little bit more just because when you sort of squish it together, it doesn't look like as much. So now we're just sort of repeating the step that we did on the bottom of our pumpkin, and we are stitching everything together, trying to cinch that top together. We don't want to see any of the stuffing. None of the popcorn kernels need to be showing either. And then we're just going to take that and we are going to tighten it and do the same thing where we will tie a knot, and then I will also put some hot glue there just to make sure that it is secure and it is not going to fall out. Now it's nice and plush, and as I said, I am putting some of that hot glue in the middle. There's Tori's hand back there, she wanted to watch. But now we are going to make the little lines that sort of make it look like a pumpkin. You don't need to do this step, honestly. I don't know if I still would do it or not, but I still think it looks good. So you kind of put your needle in through the middle, if that makes any sense, and then you sort of tie a knot, and I try to tie the knot as close to the middle as I can so you're not seeing like a knot on the side of your pumpkin. And the person that I found on Pinterest that sort of did this tutorial, she did, I think, 6 different sections, so that's what I did. Again, you can do as many or as little as you like. And now I'm just sort of fluffing it up, sort of trying to give it some shape, and it already looks so cute. And again, I'm putting some more hot glue just to make sure everything is sound. Now we're going to be making the stem. You can also make some leaves if you really wanted to, but I just like the stem. I have this really thick burlap string, and I'm trying to cut them as similar as a length as I can. And now I'm taking my hot glue gun, and we are just going to be hot gluing all of those together. It may seem a little tedious, but it's going to give you like a really nice effect for your stem. Like, it looks super realistic and it's super firm. It's not gonna break. I highly doubt it would break, but you pretty much just make it as thick as you want. It's really thick and it's so like sturdy. So now I'm just sort of putting the knots in the middle, and I'm going to be hot gluing this big stem onto there. As you can see, I put a giant pile of it, and I sort of went around the sides just to make sure, and I realized that I made my stem a little bit too tall, so I'm cutting off the top, and there you have it. It is so adorable. And as I said, the pumpkins that you can get in the store and such, they're always so overpriced, but you can make it so easily. It looks so festive, and it puts you in the cozy fall spirit. Okay guys, so these are all the things that we made today. We made 4 different things that are super simple. You don't need a bunch of unique, crazy things. It's just really normal craft stuff, I would say. We made some homemade lanterns with fairy lights inside, and we were able to attach that to the lid so that it's easily accessible to the switch. You can turn it on and off super easily. You can use those for Christmas, use it for fall, you can use it for any holiday really. And we also made a sign. We made it just out of a white piece of wood, and we just painted on a nice little fall saying. That kind of gets us to the cozy spirit. We also made some super simple and easy wooden bead garland. You can paint them, you can leave them just the way they are. I like them just like that, so I think I can really incorporate those into any holiday, especially fall. And then lastly, we made these amazing plush pumpkins that we filled with some popcorn kernels in the bottom to weight them down. The super plush, not the easiest craft in this whole entire video. It's about an intermediate level, and I think it was really fun. And yeah, so I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. You got some inspiration for things that you want to make for your house, decor wise. There's so many things that you can make all by yourself. You do not need to buy them. That's the purpose of this video. Everything is homemade. You can make anything homemade that you like. You just gotta be a little creative. If you liked these DIYs and you want to try them, definitely make sure that you are subscribed down below. I have lots more DIYs that I've already done and probably more coming in the future. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up to let me know that you love DIYs just as much as I do. So I hope you guys are having an awesome day, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday in my next video. Bye!